Well, the incident at Fort Hare, or concerning the Vice Chancellor at Fort Hare University, is believed to be part of a larger pattern of violence against campus management. University South Africa's CEO, Dr. Phethiwe Matutu, joins us now to talk about this tonight. A very good evening to you, Doctor. Thank you so much for your time. For most of us, the job of VC is not one that we would associate with such serious danger where there'd even be an attempt, as we're hearing, to assassinate a Vice Chancellor. But here we are tonight, and many are wondering when exactly being VC became such dangerous business.
Certainly one would not expect that kind of exposure to danger for a Vice-Chancellor, because the university is a place where there's supposed to be exchange of knowledge, production of knowledge, engagement with society. However, we find ourselves in this situation because the universities are considered by some to be areas where they can enable their own livelihood. And they are also seen by some as institutions which are supposed to be improving their lifestyles and qualifications without them having to work as hard as other people in acquiring such. So it becomes dangerous in that sense because they see the senior leadership as an obstruction to them acquiring these things that they require.
Could what's now happened with the assassination of the VC's protector and what's believed to be an attempt, or to have been an attempt, on his life, you think, breed a growing culture of silence where people, in the interest of staying alive, choose to not speak out even when there is corruption and other wrongdoing on campus?
Certainly it is a big risk for university leadership. If a society is going to keep quiet and not be able to protect its own, which is the staff of a university, it becomes very difficult for people to stand up and against corruption. So at least people have to see that there is interest both by the public and the powers that be to protect them.
And fighting corruption, as we know, yes, there is a leader, as we're seeing at Fort Hare, in the form of Professor Buhlungu, right? But to end it completely will require a more collective effort. There have been SIU investigations looking at graft in the higher education sector. Should we expect then more of these sort of threats against the people in charge elsewhere in the sector as that effort to root out corruption is continuing?
As I'm saying, it all depends. I believe that the community and the officials and the people who are in power are supposed to drive a particular behavior. But when that doesn't happen, it becomes a problem, because you can find out that even a few people, whether 5 or 4 or 6 or whatever, they can get away with murder. So it becomes important that as society and as the officials, we stand up against corruption.
Does it give you any comfort to hear the President saying that this matter is receiving attention? The Higher Education Minister, Bladen Zimanda, says he's speaking to the Police Minister, Phethiwe, about improving security for VC Buhlungu.
Certainly some action will need to be in place. However, in this particular case, as University of South Africa, we need a certain level of a collective approach to it, so that any other Vice-Chancellor is aware of what needs to happen or what will happen should such threats occur within the campuses. So they are all aware of, rather than just dealing it on a case-by-case basis. And sometimes within even the case-by-case basis, you find out that the Vice-Chancellor is not even conscious of what is happening at the level of the ministries.
But
so
what does it say?
We get to approach it both at the level of the individual institution, but also at the collective level, which is the entire higher education sector. I'm not sure how this phone got to be on. Sorry.
Oh, not a problem at all. What I wanted to ask you is, what does it say about our country that we're heading into a space where, in fact, as you were just talking about, a more collective response, we're going into a space where university vice chancellors and other senior officials would have to basically get around with increased security or even police escorts because there are attempts on their lives? That doesn't sound sustainable, does it?
Exactly, which was why I was saying, as society and as the community, we need to see the need for the protection of the senior officials and the officials within our own institutions which are benefiting us and are for the public good, like universities. So it can't just be about police. It has to be about staff within the university. It has to be about students within the university. It has to be about society in general. So we need a much more a broader approach and a multi-pronged approach where it goes beyond just the officials, but we need to be aware of what it is that the officials are doing and be comforted that that will have an effect in terms of protecting the senior officials within the institutions and also the staff in general, the students as well. And so we are aware of the fact that we need something much more better than what we are seeing right now.
And in coming up with that plan, then the solution to deal with this problem, would it have to be something that, would you be comfortable, for instance, with that being done at government level, or should they in fact include yourselves and the broader university community in agreeing on a way forward?
It will be guided by the Department of Higher Education and Training together with the ministry in terms of how to drive this solution. But certainly, we do need a sector approach to it.
Thank you very much for that. Dr. Phethiwe Matutu, who is University of South Africa's CEO. Grateful for your time tonight, ma'am. Thank you.